Buddy, we have some good news about the fourth stimulus check. Here's what Nancy Pelosi is saying about it.
We brought down, our credit rating was brought down when the Republicans questioned it when President Obama was in office. Let's just talk about the consequences. Our distinguished chairman of the Ways and Means Committee talked about what it meant in people's personal lives. And that's really what we are here about, for people in their personal lives, their financial and health security. The consequences of not lifting the debt ceiling would be catastrophic. The nonpartisan Moody's Analytics found that these consequences could include a loss of 6 million jobs, the elimination of potentially $15 trillion in household wealth, sending the unemployment rate surging to 9%, and a decline in the real GDP of our country by 4%.
My guess is that you've been hearing a good deal about what's going on in Washington these days, and that's because so many things are coming together at the same time. A government shutdown hopefully gets averted with legislation today or tomorrow. And yet another big challenge is coming up, which is our Democrat friends have a so-called $3.5 trillion reconciliation bill. It's nothing but bad news, in my opinion, for our country, and not a single Republican in the House or the Senate is going to vote for it. Let me tell you why. First of all, it spends an awful lot of money that we really don't have, and it's going to result in higher taxes as well as additional debt. Higher taxes on higher income people. Some people don't mind that, but it means less investment in our country. Higher taxes on corporations, particularly corporations that sell goods outside our country. And unfortunately, if you want to have more economic vitality and growth here, you want to make sure that we can sell things around the world. If our taxes are higher than other people's that are selling things around the world, it makes it less likely we'll have those jobs.
Welcome, and of course, my long-standing colleague, fellow Californian, and a great member of Congress, Congressman Farragut. Ready? Okay. So today I have asked American business leaders to join me here to have a discussion about the economy of our country and one of the most important foundations of the economy of our country, which is our small businesses. Our small business leaders, they at this table and the many that they represent, really are part of the backbone of our country, not only in terms of our economy. It is also the case that our small business leaders are civic leaders, they are community leaders.
So welcome back to the channel. Let's go over the most important stimulus check information first. Senator Bernie Sanders is now urging other lawmakers in Congress to tank President Biden's new infrastructure bill when it is put on the floor for a vote. And Senator Bernie Sanders has thrown a wrench into congressional infrastructure negotiations. And that's after Nancy Pelosi derailed progressives' voting strategy. Since the month of June, President Biden reached a bipartisan deal in the Senate on a $1 trillion roads and bridges bill. Now just know this, folks, this is the most important news. Nancy Pelosi has vowed to bring it to a vote in the House at the same time as a $3.5 trillion party line reconciliation bill. And Pelosi's move blew up that strategy, and now progressives in Congress are furious. Bernie Sanders actually wrote on Twitter, "I strongly urge my House colleagues to vote against the bipartisan infrastructure bill until Congress passes a strong reconciliation bill. By calling on House progressives to vote against the package, the basic package until the Human Infrastructure Plan passes through the Senate budget reconciliation." Sanders has taken the lead among progressive senators in urging Democrats in the House to hold firm and play hardball with the Speaker, that is Nancy Pelosi. Everybody, the stakes are huge, because if Democrats succeed in passing only one, they will leave much of President Biden's agenda unpassed until midterm elections. Who is to blame for holding back our stimulus payments, folks? Is it the Democrats or the Republicans? Tell me what you think in the comments below. Now, Sanders wrote in a Twitter post, "I strongly urge my House colleagues to vote against the bipartisan infrastructure bill until Congress passes a strong reconciliation bill." Everybody, by calling on House progressives to vote against the basic package until the Human Infrastructure Plan passes, Bernie Sanders took the lead among progressive senators in urging Democrats in the House to hold firm and play hardball with Nancy Pelosi. Progressives have said they will torpedo any movement on the bipartisan package that comes without the reconciliation bill. And now that Democratic leaders seem to be doing just that. Progressives are digging in. Bernie Sanders is one of several to throw cold water on a standalone bipartisan infrastructure bill. Other progressives are also upset at Nancy Pelosi's move. Elizabeth Warren told reporters that we had a deal, implying that Pelosi was backtracking on an agreement to hold joint votes. Representative AOC said earlier that she would vote no unless she got new information. Now, Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez also said earlier that she would vote no unless she got new information. And Sanders is one of several to throw cold water on a standalone bipartisan bill. Elizabeth Warren actually told reporters that we had a deal. So Nancy Pelosi is now breaking that deal, everybody. And Pramila Jayapal told reporters that we articulated this position more than 3 months ago. And today it is still unchanged. The progressives will vote for both bills. But the majority of our members will only vote for the infrastructure bill after President Biden's visionary Build Back Better Act passes. And not every Senate Democrat, everybody, was upset at Nancy Pelosi. Senator Sherrod Brown of Ohio, the chair of the Senate Banking Finance Committee, told reporters, "I trust Speaker Pelosi, and she's the best speaker in my lifetime, and I don't give her advice." What do you think about Nancy Pelosi, everybody? Is she doing all that it takes to help out the American people? And so far, the California Franchise Tax Board began sending the first stimulus checks. The first payments of a tax refund, enacted as the better part of the $100 billion comeback plan. The first batch of stimulus checks The first batch of physical checks are estimated to begin going out on October 6th. The state has already deposited more than 2.5 million payments of up to $1,100 into the bank accounts of eligible Californians, whose information was already on hand with state tax agencies. The state has already deposited more than 2.5 million payments of up to $1,100 into the bank accounts of eligible Californians, whose information was already on hand with the state tax agency. For those not signed up for the direct deposit refund option, checks will be mailed out starting next week and will continue to be issued through the beginning of 2022.
The businesses they lead not only employ people from communities, not only train and support people within those communities.
And then there's how the $3.5 trillion would actually be spent. There's going to be an extraordinary largesse given to people who are here illegally. Families, kids, individuals are able to get government payments whether or not they're legal. That's a problem. Education. The federal government is putting the camel's nose into the tent, if you will, in the education world. So we're going to have the federal government saying that all of our kids between in the 2 years before kindergarten are going to go to public school. So they're going to have pre-K at public schools. They're calling for building new schools. So we have pre-K for our kids under the direction, of course, of the public school system. And likewise, they're going to say free community college for all of our kids as well.